So it's been raining really crazy here for quite a while, and I screwed up my mower by running over a polyester shirt that like totally jacked up the mower. I finally got that thing off. It took me quite a while because it's been raining so much and I didn't want to lay down in the rain. And then my buddy Dusty came over and we just had a little bit of a blowout for about a week. It was fantastic. But just this morning here, I worked on what I'm calling the Ron Lee Trail around the homestead here. And I've I've mowed a path all the way around it. And we're gonna walk through it right now. It's gonna be kind of fun. I don't know, hopefully it'll be kind of fun. Maybe we might see some wildlife. We'll see. When I mowed earlier today, I saw about 6 deer. But this is gonna be a full 30-acre walk. So I'm gonna get a little huffy and puffy because I'm a smoker. So what are you gonna do? I'm working on that. Don't worry about it. So my dad planted all of these trees. It was really kind of a scrubby alfalfa farm when we moved here in 1977. And I'm not entirely sure what my dad's goals were with all the trees, but I think he just liked planting them and he liked seeing them grow. So, and like here you'll see these trees are coming up on their own now. Lots of trees coming up on their own now. It's really cool. But like, look at this entire row. Just gorgeous. All of those are all planted. So they were planted from 1977 on. These gorgeous trees. And about 15 or 20 years ago, I was like, hey, black walnuts are really a great tree to plant. So why don't you plant a bunch of those? We had gave my mom and dad a weird fax email machine where you could email them and it would print out and they could read it. So I sent them a thing about black walnuts and I was like, yeah, that'd be great for our grandkids or your grandkids, probably my grandkids really. And so a couple years later we chatted about it and he's like, oh yeah, I worked through that email and that didn't seem to work, so I just dug a hole and threw a bunch of the black walnuts in them, and then when the trees came up I would just trim out the little ones and let the good ones go. So I guess we got about, I don't know, probably 200-300 black walnuts in this area. But these are all like Scotch pine and white pine. You can see it from this side. I'll just keep going. I love walking through here where it's like you're walking through a tunnel almost. So the branches on the bottom all die because they don't get any light. And that's just kind of the way pine trees work. They're all very healthy up above. The needle floor is starting to really just coalesce into like a straight up dry needle floor through here, so it's super easy to mow. These are in fact healthy trees. They just look bad from the bottom. See the needle floor here. Black walnut. Dad's put them everywhere. It's hilarious. Beautiful moss. So again, white pines, red pines, black walnuts. Should probably have done this video earlier in the morning, but whatever. Again, this is the Ron Lee Trail. This is his legacy that I'm trying to preserve forever. And again, there's lots of pine trees coming up all by themselves. These trees are just reproducing on the property. It's fantastic. He put in a bunch of aspen, which I'm not super happy about, but whatever, I'll get over it. I think he liked them because they grew fast and that made him happier quicker. Anybody that in the gardens knows what that means. This was a little tricky getting down with the mower. Luckily I've bought a kick-ass mower. I did get it stuck once and I had to drive my pickup truck down and get it and pull it out. That was kind of funny. So this is the edge of the north end of the property here. You can see the fence. And that's an old cattle grazing field. Not entirely sure what the Happels want to do with that, but I think that's some of our trees populating over there as well, which is kind of exciting. So this is the end over here. Looks fantastic. I'm not entirely sure how far it goes up there, but that's still part of it. So we'll just follow the fence line here. Looks like I gotta mow this a couple more times before it is a good trail. Or I gotta get a four-wheeler or something, or 2x2. Or side-by-side, what are they calling them? Side-by-sides? Yeah. So this is all aspens that Dad put in, which I don't really like. They're kind of a weed tree. But whatever, they fill in very quickly and grow like weeds. You can see deer trails right through here. Lots of deer bedding. This is where I got stuck. I had to pull the truck down and pull my mower off. These giant gopher mounds. So this is actually where I want to dig a pond. Let me zoom out here. I want to dig a pond because right on the other side over there, probably only 10 feet down, 20 feet down, is a part of the Otter Tail River connection. I'm thinking I don't have to dig too far to make a pond here, but right now this property doesn't have any water, so I'm not gonna worry about that now. Once I get the art studio built, then we'll worry about that. Yeah, I'll leave it wide through here because lots of little trees, some big trees. I got stuck there. This part of the trail sucks. I gotta work on this. All right, let's see, we're gonna follow this fence. So now we're on the east side of the property. I had to think a little bit on that. So all of these trees, my dad started planting in 1977. It's just beautiful. Again, it was scrubby alfalfa field at the time they purchased the property. And that's just natural tree right there. So I've been going around those with the mower for the path, for the trail. As we were kids, growing up here, we loved to go up into the cattle pasture. So that used to all be like just tiny grass because the cattle would eat it all. And so it was just super fun to just run around up there, not worry about the ticks and the bugs and whatever, because the cattle ate all the grass. Another natural tree. And here we're gonna come up on a extremely beautiful kind of vista where you can see where Dad has planted rows of trees. Growing up here, I didn't really quite understand his vision, and he never really explained his vision. But I think you can kind of just see it. I mean, what 1977 is, what is that, 40 years, 50 years? I'm not going to do the math right now, but that was all bare field when we first moved here. I'd love to have that hill too, but gotta talk to the Happels and see if they want to keep it. I'm sure they do. So everything up here is so beautiful. It's really hard to give up. So all of those trees there, except for the tall cottonwoods, are planted. I'll zoom in a bit. And of course these cottonwoods are all volunteer. They just came in. But you'll see up here is a nice little grove of black walnut, which is fantastic for my grandkids. If my daughters ever reproduce, or if my brother's kids reproduce. Again, we're taking this all the way around the whole property. There's the fence line again. So I'm thinking, you know, what? I don't know. Can I make money from carbon sequestration? Can I do something about farming and not farming or whatever? I don't know. I don't really have any of that in mind because I think I'm pretty well bankrolled, but we'll see. You never know what happens. But I want to make sure this property gets into a trust so that no outside entity can take it away from us, at least in my lifetime. This is the old trash gully. Like literally this was full of trash when we were kids when we first moved here. There was like weird bottles from like the 20s and 30s in there. It's all very strange. Down here, this is where we used to party in the 80s. We actually partied down here so much that at one point we had a perfectly driven dirt road from up there down around